to be honest, if you don't have Patrick play for the next couple of weeks, I won't be mad at all. And that's how I feel about it. I think Carson Wentz is he's an NFL quarterback who has been successful in this league. That's the reason we got a guy like him here. He can throw the football around. And I think that, for all the things he's gone through, this is why you sign a guy like him for a time like this. And so I'm really disappointed and a little enraged that we actually put Patrick in that position to throw the ball like we did, which doesn't make any sense when we had two running backs that could easily tote the rock, especially when you're up on them like we are. So that's the part to me that's really confusing. It's really confusing. So I get you want to work your offense. You still want to make things work. You're still trying to deal with your scheme, right? Because it's like I always said, it's always about us. It's not really about them. It's about us, what we're working on to get to this 3-peat. And so for them, still going against a very good defense, see what works against them so we can see how it's going to work during the playoffs when you start getting to some harder things, right? That's how you do it. But not at the detriment of Patrick Mahomes, that the guy that's going to get you there, the one that's going to win it for you all, PM15, you can't put him in jeopardy. You just can't. And so that, to me, was really a head scratcher. It was. For the amount that we threw it, whew. Yeah. I bet they want to take some of that back. And they know they're going to have to get heat for that. And they might have to say, like, look, we probably shouldn't have put him in that situation. So.
Yeah, it'd be great to hear Nagy or Andy just come to the podium after this game and say, we screwed up. We screwed up throwing the ball that many times as we did and put in Pat and Harswick. It was malpractice.
Yeah, it never happened. It'll never happen. A lot of doctors don't want to admit when they do things wrong either, right?
That's true. Teja, do you have any concerns about the injury? I know his trainer Bobby Straub came online and just put a bunch of emojis pretty much saying they're going to get him right and they're going to get him back up to full speed like they did a couple years ago during the Super Bowl run against the Eagles.
Yeah, that's encouraging, but at the same time, if they have to get him right, that means something's wrong, right? So I hope it's not a serious thing. It is concerning. I mean, he's our guy, right? So of course it's concerning that he's limping around over there. And he didn't finish the game because he's the kind of guy that would want to come back in, even if there were like 3 or 4 minutes, 2 minutes remaining. He'd want to even come back in just to kneel the ball. We've seen that before. So yeah, it's never a good sign. And yeah, I echo what JD said. It's it's on coaching. You have a left guard playing left tackle against one of the best D linemen in the league, and you're dropping back 100 times. I mean, it's pretty crazy. Our numbers in the second half, it's like I hope we were trying to test out things because other than that, I don't know what we were doing in the second half to try to throw that ball. I mean, we threw it 40 times, being up 2 to 3 touchdowns most of the game. It's just crazy to think about. Like you just don't do that because we were up pretty much in the first 3 minutes of the game already.
Yeah,
and we were basically nursing a lead for most of that game, nursing a 2 to 3 score lead in that game. So yeah, I mean, running backs had 27 carries. It didn't even feel like that many, right? When I looked at the stat line, I was like, wow, I'm surprised we even ran it that much. We had 11 carries in the second half. 11 carries in the second half, up 2 to 3 scores. It's crazy. Wow. And out of 8 drives in the second half, we only had 1 drive over 6 plays. It's just, yeah. I mean, Mahomes was 6 of 18 in the second half, 12 incompletions.
6 of 18?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I just don't. Yeah, I don't get it. They must have. Maybe they think that we're going to have Tooney playing left tackle in the playoffs. And we're like, you know what? Let's give him as much prep as possible against one of the best in the league. I don't know. I mean, at this point, they were testing something out in that game. Or like I said last week when we were talking about this, is part of this just like really stubbornness that they're just, we're going to get this right. We're going to get, no. We're going to keep doing this so we get it right. And they just keep passing until they just They just think it's going to be a slump buster eventually, right? I mean, I don't know.
Well, that's when we speak about those things offensively. We talk about we got to work on our stuff. We got to work on our stuff. That is the focus. And so for them, they got to work on their stuff. Passing deep balls, like you said, trying to get ready, get Worthy activated, throw to Hopkins, Juju. Let's work on some of the things that we need to work on, right? For the bigger picture, right? For the bigger picture. And so sometimes what you do is, you cut your nose off in spite of your face. Well, when you know the practical thing to do because you have got this thing in the bag, like why are you running the ball? How many times the second half?
11 carries from running backs in the second half running backs.
It's crazy. It's forming out. When you do that's forming offense. You handed the ball off, and all you're doing is coming after, and you beating down the D line and the linebackers, and you're teeing off on them. And if they do something in the box, it's a quick play action pass or something and measure something quick. You ain't trying to look for the deep balls down the field, and you got 8 people coming after you, or 7 or 6. It just looked like the whole team was coming after at that point. Like, and we weren't really like pinching them to stop them. That's the thing. When you look at a passing situation, and to our detriment, defenses, they know us. They know our tendencies, and they know like they're going to do their stuff. They don't care about running the football. They're going to go ahead and try to pass it, and they know it. They know it. So I just you got to be smarter than that. They have to be smarter than that. Okay. And I get it that Patrick Mahomes is invincible, right? And he gets up after every hit and, he shakes himself off and hell no, don't take me out, right? They know all that about him. But when I seen him sitting over there on the sideline, I seen his arms up and that sucker looked like I'm done for the day. I think he was visibly like, yeah, I'm hurting. Y'all had to convince me twice to sit over here. Ain't no hell no. Hell no, I'm not going in. It was more of that. Hell no, I'm not going in.
I got that same vibe from his body language too, JD. I felt
Absolutely.
that same vibe when he was talking to Nagy on the sideline when he had his jacket on. Yeah, I felt the same thing.
Hey man, I'm done through the hook. I'm done.
Yeah.
Dude, you see it right there? Wentz, put that sucker in. Paying a whole lot of money, sit back there, hold the clipboard, put his ass in.
Obviously, numbers can be deceiving. So I've seen a lot of people online say Tooney did a remarkable job today. Obviously, the last 6 games, 23 sacks for Mahomes. Today, 0 sacks, but we saw he was taking some shots and hits today. So what was your overall thoughts on the O-line play? I know people look at sacks. There's no sacks today, which is great, but he was still taking some hits and some shots today. What were your overall thoughts on the offensive line play today?
I thought they did a good job. I thought they did a really good job. Matter of fact, Tooney is he's a wall. That's it. When you talk about anchor, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you got to use as much force as possible to bull rush it. And so Myles Garrett realized tackles and guards are built different. Guards are more squatty. They're very tough. They're very strong low base, center and gravity and stuff, right? And that's who Joe Tooney is. And so Myles Garrett, you seem like trying to push the sled and trying to push, Tooney back there. And he realized, like, man, he's taking up a lot of space. He's not an easy guy to get by. I think he did a pretty decent job. And the reality is this: it's the NFL. You ain't gonna keep everybody out there. You're not gonna stop everybody every single play. Okay. As good as our offensive line played, there's gonna be a break in that dam at some point. It is. And when you got big boys up front, and all you got them doing is kicking back, catching people, then it's not a good plan. It's not. I almost think, when you get to the sideline, I'm like, how come we ain't running the daggone football? If we got 3 or 4 tight ends over here, we got 4 or 5 running backs. Run the daggone football. So that's what I think. I think they did a good job until, them suckers peel their ears back and just want to start humming, coming after them. So.
I never heard Caliendo's name said in the game, so that's always a good sign if you don't hear a lineman's name said, right?
Mm-hmm.
That means he's doing his job.
Doing his job, man. Yeah.
It's funny when a lineman does his job, you don't hear his name. When most other positions do their jobs, you hear their names. Or if they don't do their jobs, you hear their names too.
Right. That's the unsung heroes, man. That's
but that's so that's a good sign. I mean, that also helps that it proves that if we need to go do any playoffs, it's we can do that. But I guess it's not the most ideal thing. But yeah, I saw plenty of plays where Garrett was pushing his way, making his way inside. But you know what? Like with Garrett, I don't think there's a shutting him down unless you're an elite, bookend left tackle, which there aren't many of those anymore anyway. We talked about this recently. There aren't like dominant rows out there anymore. Or there maybe a couple of them. So no one's going to dominate Garrett. You just want to get in his way, really, and slow him down a bit, right? It's like stopping. You're not going to stop a great score in an NBA game. Just limit him to like 20 to 25. Don't let him score 35, 40 against you. And that's good. That's good enough, right? Yes. That's kind of what stopping Garrett's like. You're not going to shut him down. You just slow him down.
Yeah. You hold Mike or Kobe to 20 points, you did a hell of a job. 25?
25.
Hell of a job. Yeah. You get a triple W? Hell of a job. Attaboy. He didn't hit you for 40 or 50 tonight.
And without doubling them all game.
Yeah. So
there was a stat from ESPN that came out after the game. So Mahomes was pressured 54% of the time today per ESPN stats. That's the highest pressure rate he's faced in a game since 2020.
Goodness gracious. Yep.
I wonder how long the average time he held the ball on too. That also matters as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Now obviously, same thing. Get greedy. We want the chunks. Check downs. Just don't check it down. We see it. When you go ahead, you chip, and you come out. Check down. You ain't got it up top. You feel the throw it. Check down. Let them miss. Pacheco did a great job in space. Got the ball to him. He made some guys miss. Same thing. Give it to Worthy. Make a guy miss. So short passes, intermediate, throw those things. And also Pearson says, run the damn ball.
Yeah, I was going to say, and running would help too.
The damn ball.
Maybe then you could possibly do a play action. I know we maybe forgot what that was, but that could happen more often too if we actually ran the ball.
Absolutely.
Especially in the second half, because 27 carries by your running backs or whatever I said earlier. It's not horrible for a game, but when your game script matters, right? When you're winning by 2 to 3 scores like we are all game, you have to run more, run the clock out, get out of the game. Because that last hit on Mahomes really hurt his ankle, but he was already limping a little bit before that from a previous hit, right? Wasn't he already kind of limping before that?
Yeah,
he was walking gingerly before that. So you pass like 6 more times in a row after that. I mean, it's also cocky too. It's like you don't think that the Browns can come back and score, which I've seen them do in chunks before. So also a point of just winning the game. Get the hell out of there with a win.
Yeah. And also, too, talking about just taking what the defense gives you. I mean, I think it was one of our opening drives where Mahomes took that shot to Justin Watson. If you look in that play, Xavier Worthy's doing a late-breaking drag, a little rub around in the middle of the field, him and Juju. He's wide open. If he checks it down to Worthy, I think Worthy had like at least 20 to 30 yards there, and there's no one there. He just broke it up field afterwards. But, yeah, he took the deep shot to Justin Watson, which is, I don't know, it's the guy you want to throw a deep shot and double coverage to, Justin Watson. That ended up being an OPI in the end.
Yeah. Well, I'm interested. How'd y'all do in y'all betting? How'd y'all do with y'all?
0 for 1, 0 for 2, 1 for 2, 1 for 3. Yeah, I went 1 for 5 this week.
1 for 5?
1, 2, 3, 3 of 4. What was my last one? I'm forgetting one.
But
yeah, I had 3 of 4. I don't remember my last one was actually.
Yeah, they took Winston out. He only had 2 carries, so that was that hurt. He had a whole quarter, possibly get one more rushing attempts, but he didn't get that. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show.
Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.